Kellen Dunlap is the a recent first prize recipient of the National Association of Teachers of Singing's upper class tenor in baritone and bass recognition. We have a video of Kellen's performance at that competition. We'll take a look at that now before we interview them. Joining us now on the Megacast is an award-winning music student from Oakland University. Colin Dunlap, as we said, is the recent first prize recipient of the National Association of Teachers of Singing's upper class tenor in baritone and bass recognition. Kellen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, congratulations on your award. And then secondly, just want to ask to begin, you're a music student at Oakland University. What do you hope to do with your music career? What is your ideal career going forward?
Well, after Oakland, I hope to go to graduate school for vocal performance, and someday I hope to teach voice lessons at a university or an institution. So private voice study is what I want to do.
So what got you into this? What got you specifically into developing a passion for singing, but also drew you to teaching other people to sing in the future?
Well, I've been musical since I was a little kid. I always did, the church productions and stuff when I was young, and the school productions, and the musicals, and the theater. And when I was in high school, I started taking voice lessons with a teacher pretty seriously. I started singing with the Grand Rapids Symphony Youth Chorus. And my stepdad is also a music educator. And he really inspired me, as well as many others, to not only make music as a career, but teach others how to make music as well.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap, an Oakland University music student, joining us on the Megacast today. And Kellen, of course, is the recent recipient of first prize in the National Association of Teachers Teachers of Singing's upper class tenor, baritone, and bass division. And he's with us on the Megacast. And so you had recently also studied abroad. I see from my notes in music also. How did that experience influence you, especially now and as you approach going to grad school in the future and maybe teaching in the future as well?
Tyler, it was an amazing experience. So a little bit of background, the top choir at Oakland University took a trip to Spain for a concert tour, and we toured Madrid, Cordoba, Granada, Seville, and just taking a look at the way that other people do things, how other people from other parts of the world live their lives, and how it's different from the way that we do them here, and the understanding that it's not better or worse, it might just be a different perspective.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap, Oakland University music student, with us on the Oakland County Megacast. Of course, you can keep up to date on everything happening in the Oakland University music program, including the work of Kellen and other students, by visiting oakland.edu. That's oakland.edu. Navigate over to the music department's page for more information. Kellen, for you, when did this passion for singing begin, and how did that develop over time into something that became more than just a passion? It's something you want to make your career as well.
Probably around the time I was in high school when I joined the Grand Rapids Symphony Youth Chorus, and I got really serious about vocal technique and there's something really special about vocal music, because it is music just like any other instrument or ensemble, but we have words that we communicate to our audience, and once you begin to find ways to communicate to your audience, not only just the music, but the way that the words and the music interact with one another, that's when you can touch people's minds with the music, but also their hearts with the words.
And so for you as a vocal musician, how do you incorporate that into the art that you're creating? Because you can then sing other people's songs and create your own interpretations for them, but you're also creating your own songs too, or at some point you may be interested in that also. So for musicians that are on the vocal side of music, what advice do you have to them in crafting how they deliver their art to people?
So I think just as much of what I do is acting as it is singing, because we have to think really hard about the poetry that we sing, right? These composers and these poets are very intentional about the way that they create their art, and we have to be intentional with it too. So discovering different ways that we might say a word if we're anxious, or if we're scared, or if we're joyous and happy. Those are all different ways that we create our sounds with our diction, with the way that we craft our words. And that's the part that's really, that can touch people's hearts.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap. He is an Oakland University music student joining us on the Megacast. Recent first prize awardee of the National Association of Teachers of Singing's upper class classical tenor and baritone and bass division at their recent awards, and he's with us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information, of course, can be found on Oakland University's website, oakland.edu, to keep up to date on everything happening in the music department. Kellen, for you as a musician and as an aspiring music teacher, what led you to Oakland University? What ultimately decided that their music program was the perfect place for you?
So I went to Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp in high school, where I met the amazing Dr. Michael Mitchell. He is a fabulous choral director. He is an inspiring human being. And everybody on the vocal music staff and the music education staff is passionate about their students here at Oakland. They work hard to make this program work for them. They work hard to give their students opportunities and experiences like going to Spain, and like participating in competitions like the National Association of Teachers of Singing, that are just unparalleled to any university I've seen thus far for an undergraduate program.
How helpful have they been in your experience, just as a developing musician and learning the craft on a professional level, but also as you're preparing to eventually, in your ideal situation, be teaching people in the future to sing themselves?
Oh, I wouldn't be half the teacher or musician or singer that I am today without the help of people like Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Drake Dantzler, Dr. John Paul White, Dr. Alta Boover. They've worked so hard and poured so much energy into me and my musicianship, and Dr. Deborah Vanderland into the way that we teach others. There are no words to describe the amount of work and the amount of resources that they've poured into me and all of the students here at Oakland University, so that way we can be successful in our music careers, our teaching careers, and everything else here at Oakland.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap. He is an Oakland University vocal music student joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. Kellen, as a music teacher, it's good to get your perspective on this. So many people love to sing. They recognize that they're not very good at it in some cases, and maybe they're just bashful about it. For someone that teaches vocal music and has practiced vocal music for as long as you have, what advice do you have for the novice singer in developing their voice and developing their technique?
Oh, that's a tricky question. Just sing, right? You can, everybody has a voice to share, right? Even somebody who thinks that they can't sing, sure, right? But they can always show a different perspective to music, right? We talked about poetry a second ago when we talked about communicating. You might have a different perspective on the poetry, and that's just as beautiful, right? So there is beauty in sound, and there's also beauty in interpretation too. So just sing, right? You sing in the car, sing in the shower, right? And have fun with it. I had a teacher one time tell me, you know what, if you can be the best musician, but if you're not having fun, it ain't done, right? So just have fun making music, and that's the most important part of what we do.
Kellen, describe the feelings that you have when you are creating music, because it's clearly fun for you, and clearly you took that advice from one of your teachers about having fun with your music. So when you are singing, or when you are working with other people to teach them to sing, what sort of feelings do you get out of that experience, and why does that keep you passionate about music?
I think it's indescribable, Tyler. It's seeing my students have that light bulb moment. I'm a young singer, right? So I remember when I had a lot of these light bulb moments that my students are having. And the thrill that I got is only magnified when I see it in others. Discovering how to sing with freedom in your voice and easily with breath support and effortless text communication. These are powerful things that we do as vocal musicians, and seeing others discover how to communicate and sing easily that's just an indescribable feeling. Absolutely.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap. He is an Oakland University music student joining us on the Megacast. He's also the recent first prize recipient of the National Association of Teachers of Singing's Upper Classical Tenor, Baritone, and Bass Division recognition, and he joins us on the Oakland County Megacast. You can keep up to date on everything happening in the Oakland University Department of Music by visiting their website, oakland.edu. That's oakland.edu for more information on everything happening at Oakland University, including their prolific music theater and dance department in the school of in their school over there at Oakland University. Kellen, we have just a few more minutes with you today before we'll say goodbye. If everyone has a certain connection to their music of choice, for musicians that play a certain instrument or a certain set of instruments, there's always some draw that keeps them coming back to that specific instrument. So for you, your instrument is your voice. What about that specific tool of creating music forms that connection with you that has drawn that passion for so long?
So it kind of goes back to how I started singing in the first place. I started singing from acting, from doing plays and performances. And of course, a huge part of that is your voice and communicating words, right? And I think my love of music and my love of theater combine in the art of classical music, opera, musical theater, and cabaret. That love of beautiful sounds that we can create with music and theatrical art combine in singing, in the voice.
We're joined by Kellen Dunlap. He is a Oakland University music student with us on the Oakland County Megacast. Kellen, before we let you go, anything else we haven't talked about today that you'd like to say about music, about teaching, about Oakland University, or anything else we haven't discussed?
I do want to say that Oakland University has done so much for me as a musician, as a teacher, as a learner. They have poured so many resources into me, and I know that it's not exclusive to me. It's to all of their students. They have an amazing program. It's a small program, but because of that, we get, we're all first class, right? We're all first class students in their mind. We're not numbers, right? We get individual attention by our professors because of the smaller program, but because of that, we get a lot of attention, a lot of time on stage, and our professors know all of us by name, and that's not something that every undergraduate program can offer. And just unparalleled music education in the Midwest.
We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations on your recent award.
Thank you so much.